What up, what up, what up? It's your favorite auntie, what up, tendencies with Coach Rowe in the building. Now joining the conversation presented by Cess Talks, y'all. We talking headlines from the sidelines. If it's your first time here, y'all know what it is. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, hit that like button, stay in the conversation because we don't stop talking. Coach, what's happening? What's good?
What's good, everybody, on this lovely Thursday morning? We have a lot going on, lots going on. We're going to get right into it. No further ado. Big weekend. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, Coach, we got a lot coming up, but you know where I'm starting at. I think this is going to be just a regular segment. Hired or fired? Fired. You hear me? Fired. Let's talk about these coaches that's been fired. Let's talk about these coaches that's been fired, and let's talk about where they're going to end up at, Coach. It's important to me, you understand? Because they fired out here, Coach. They fired out here, man. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, Coach. I'm kicking it right off, Coach. They fired out here. You hear me? So we got Kelly Harper. Kelly Harper is out as Tennessee's coach. School announced it on Monday. Three-time national champion as a point guard for Lady Vols. Listen, she finished up with 108 to 52 record, 53 and 24 in SEC play in 5 seasons. That was number 6 seed in the tournament this year. They lost in the second round of 32 as a 3 seed to NC State. That was considered a bubble team. You know, Camila Cardoso, I gave him that 1.1 seconds. That's probably the biggest major change. You know, Kenny Brooks, he got fired. He got hired real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny got fired and hired on the same day. Seemed like Kenny wanted to get fired because he knew he was getting hired somewhere else. I don't know if that was the case, but it could have been. Lisa Stockton retired at Tulane, so she wasn't fired. Love to see the retirement. When you retire, Coach, I mean, you made some decisions. You understand? When you retire, yeah. But when you fire, it's a different thing. So, yeah, we had 2 retirees. Lisa Stockton at Tulane after 30 years as the Green Waves head coach. Congratulations to Lisa. David Six retired after a 15-year tenure at Hampton. So, UC Santa Barbara, Bonnie Henriksen fired. Cal State Northridge, Carleen Mitchell fired. Canisius Sahar Nusebe, I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, either way, fired. You hear me? Clemson, Amanda Butler, fired. Clemson hired Sean Poppy. Okay, Eastern Michigan, Fred Castro, fired. Please go home. Sahar Nusebe, look at Sahar. Got fired and hired real quick. Way to stay off that unemployment line, Sahar. Darnell Haney, fired.
Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan, Fred Castro, Sahar Nusebe, hired there. Georgetown, this is the weirdest. I have to check on this one because they got Darnell Haney fired, but they also have Darnell Haney as hired. So I don't know.
Yeah, he was the interim coach. So he
has fired as the interim. So he wasn't really fired. He was promoted.
No, he wasn't fired. That's
a promotion. I take that back on Darnell. He didn't get fired, Coach. Kyra Elsie, fired. You hear me? Yeah. Fired. Get out of Kentucky, out of the bluegrass. Kenny Brooks came on in there. Yeah. UMBC, Jonetta Hayes, fired. Yeah. Miami, Katie Meyer, fired. North Alabama, Missy Tibber, fired. Yeah. Hired at North Alabama, Candy Whitaker. Robert Morris, Charlie Buscaglia, fired. Hired there. Chandler McCabe, Tulane, Lisa Stockton, fired. Virginia Tech, Kenny Brooks, we already talked about him. Youngstown State, John Nicolai, fired. Melissa Jackson, hired. It's one of them that I wanted to do last. Because she was a special fire. You know, Coach? She is a special fire. Utah State. Kayla Ard, fired in the tunnel. Do you hear me? Fired in the tunnel. They didn't even let this lady get back to the locker room and say anything to her team before they took her job. How disrespectful of Utah State. I wouldn't be looking to get hired there. They have zero class.
And they hired somebody. They hired Wesley Brooks.
You fire a coach in the tunnel?
Yeah, if I'm Wesley Brooks, I'm going to need that clause in my contract. Like, look, if there's any separation,
I will always make it back to the locker room.
Right. You can call me at my home or come to my office to separate. You
will speak to me after the post conference. That is for sure.
That's right.
Coach, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Not a lot of hiring going on. Wanted to just start this segment off. Fired and hired, retired and promoted. Let's What's the best job on the list? Let's start there. Best job on the list. To me, Utah State is the job I'm putting an asterisk next to just because of how they hired Kayla Art. Kayla Art is also the coach that I will put the asterisk next to because of the way she hired because of the way she handled that firing. Because they'd have fired me, coach. Ain't no way I did no press conference.
I agree with you. I think Utah State is probably the only job. But so I'm gonna give it another little twist on this. I think that what if you went to a SWAC school or a smaller school, really built that program up and rebuilt your stock? So Kelly Harper, you have some options. You have some smaller schools that need a coach. I see you got Pepperdine, looks like they have an opening. You got North Carolina Central that needs a coach. So I'm looking at some of the smaller schools. Western Carolina, one of those teams. I mean, there's a lot of like smaller schools. And here's an interesting one. What about Tennessee State? And again, I'm talking about smaller schools because is she ready for another major job? Like that could really.
I don't know. I heard that the Lady Vols fan base is really upset with the firing of Kelly Harper. So I'm interested to see.
But can you be upset? I mean, I understand the fan base because here's the thing. Her personality.
Coach, remember, I didn't fire her this year. I thought she redeemed herself. She lost with a little bit more class. Understood that Rakia Jackson had been hurt some this year.
Nope.
Tamari Key, I didn't realize what a beast that she had been before the clots in her lungs. So I just think that Kelly Harper intended to have a different type of team there. It's unfortunate over 5 years. I thought that she saved herself though with that last that last loss. But the fam let me know Camila Cardoso signed her. They signed her warrant when she hit that 1.1 second shot. That was Camila Cardoso stamped that layoff paper.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna say this: I'm on a total opposite end of the spectrum. What you mentioned, respectfully, it was time for her to get fired. You're in a high-profile conference with. Here's the thing about coaching that I think a lot of people fail to understand: when you're in a situation where you have the resources and pretty much all of the financial backing that you need to be great, nobody wants to hear, "Oh, I'm in a conference with South Carolina. Oh, I'm in a conference with LSU." Nobody wants to hear that. You have disposable income. You have alumni. You have tradition. You have the facilities. You have everything. I'm saying you have everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
The AD there only wanted one conference title.
Coach.
And you didn't have somebody checking somebody wide open.
But Coach, here's the thing, and I think this is what you just pointed out. With all of the resources, all of the alumni, all of that, they haven't been able to rebuild this thing at Rocky Top because it wasn't about none of that. It was about Pat Summitt. Kelly Harper, second coach, came in here after Pat Summitt to try to build something. That's how special.
No, that's fair.
Pat Summitt was. That's a fair point. That's how special that IQ, that basketball mind, that commitment to pouring into youth. Nobody loved Rocky Top like her. This is the lady who was pregnant with her son. Her water broke. And she was like, damn that, get me on the plane. There's no way I'm dropping a baby in Kentucky. I will have this baby in Tennessee. And held on to her labor till she could get back to Tennessee to have this baby. I don't remember if she was really in Kentucky, but it was someplace she had to fly back from, right? Like nobody loved Rocky Top like her. So I just think that there have been two coaches that have come in there since Pat left out. And it's hard shoes to fill. I think she says big shoes to fill, right? So I get what you're saying. But I think it really speaks to the fact that people weren't coming there because it was Rocky Top. People weren't coming there because it was the alumni.
You just said it. But see, hold on, Cess. You just said it.
What?
The responsibility you take on as a head coach by default is you have to bring the talent. So again, you're not going to be able to recruit with the great Dawn Staley. You're not going to be able to recruit with the pedigree of a Mulkey because they have that step, okay? Erase them from the equation. That's two. Well, teams.
I just feel like Tennessee had the copyright on recruiting and it ran out. Okay.
But does that not fall on? We've both been in management before. That falls on the person that's responsible.
No, it falls on the person that hired these two people that came in here that couldn't get it done for not understanding what they needed to bring in here. They hired two people at the University of Tennessee that they thought they were going to be able to go out there and say, I played for Tennessee. Pat Summitt used to coach for Tennessee, and that's all that they had to say about Tennessee to be able to get the talent in there. What they found out when they got out there was it doesn't work like that as much anymore. Gino Auriemma is out there saying, I got 11 of these things. Dawn Staley is out there saying, I'm building this up here. Niele Ivey is up at Notre Dame doing this. Cara Lawson is up here doing this. I feel like it was a situation, kind of these bigger companies get in situations where it's just like, hey, come work for us. And they haven't realized that you're antiquated. You're not the sexy tech company out there. You don't have the cool tools and resources. You haven't stayed flexible and nimble to be able to go after the talent. You're not out here building NILs and really getting out here out in the streets, meeting these kids where they're at, like Dawn is. Dawn is out here meeting kids in the 6th grade. In the 6th grade. She built a relationship with my Malaysia Fu Wiley for 6 years to get her at South Carolina. So being able to just throw out the orange and white and say, come to Rocky Top, Peyton went here and Pat was here, those days is over.
Yeah,
you got to get out here. You got to get out here and compete. You got to get out here and be able to say something more than remember when Pat.
True, but it is still that coach's responsibility to sit on parents' couches. Now, here's what we don't know, and maybe this will come out since she got, I can't even say
fired. She got fired. You heard, fired.
Here's the thing. We don't know what her success ratio was on recruiting players. That's what we're going to find out. What was her skill level in those 5 years? Whose couch was she on? And they said, nah. Now, granted, the points you made, very valid. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't go, hey, this tradition isn't here, but it still falls on the head coach. That's the responsibility you take. And I agree.
What is the AD's responsibility?
Oh, absolutely. No.
The buck stops somewhere.
I'm not exempting the AD, but we all know, you and I have been doing this long enough to know, or watching sports to know, this is the first step. Next step would definitely be the AD. The AD has that protection. The AD can always jump out and say, get rid of the coach.
Sure. But what we're going to find out here.
And then the alumni and the university say, you know what, AD? I think it's you. And then let's
see what the alumni say.
Yeah, I've rarely seen the AD go before the coach.
The thing I'll say about Kelly Harper is this. I don't remember her having any mess in her program.
I think she was a player coach. The players are like they loved her.
Right. So I don't remember her having any mess. I don't remember her not being able to reach the players. I don't remember any scandals. I don't remember any of that. I think that she just came at a time when it's not Tennessee's season. Right now, like I've been saying, Dawn Staley's fingerprints got a stranglehold on women's basketball right now.
Right.
And that's just what I think.
There's a lot of the behind the scenes that'll come out. She'll come out and say it, but she does. To me, she presents as if she has a lot of class. I'm sure she has some dirt, so to speak, or some tea, whatever you want to call it, to say as to how she was wrong in the situation. She's going to wait. She's going to get her next job. She'll be successful. I have no doubt in my mind she'll be successful, but she'll
probably be a commentator for a minute.
I don't know.
The disappointment that lady felt when that ball went in for Camila Cardoso.
If I'm in her circle, I want to go. Here's my thing. If I'm in her circle, I'm going one or two ways. Either I'm getting right back on the bike, and like you said, Utah State is probably the only job right now. Or I'm going to a school where I have sole control, peace of mind, and I don't have to worry about that. That's my thoughts.
That lady was sad because she didn't deliver for her players. She's going to need to take a step back, I think, and just take a year off to be able to get herself to a point where she can even take on all of that again. But we'll see. We'll see. If I was her, I would take a year off. But get your pipes warmed up. Because we're gonna stand with fire to the portal. I got some folks coming to the portal, so let's go and bring them in, Coach. Let's bring them in. It's about 971 young ladies at last count that I had playing in the portal. I'm not gonna cover all of them. Coach, go ahead and bring me in, and we'll get them together.
To the portal. I'm going to the portal. I need a new team.
So.
I'm going to the portal. The portal. I'm going to the portal. I need a new team. Going to the portal. New team, teammates. Campus all change. I'm finding my way. My old team's done. I'll meet my new coach. Hit the new court and find my way.
We're going to the portal. So in the portal, Coach, I love it. Georgia A. Moore, Caitlin Shin, Liatu King. I'm sure I'm not saying her name right. Asia Petty, Talia Scott, Sailor Puffenbarger. I know I'm saying her name wrong.
I'm so glad you hit this. I'm so glad. Can I jump on this?
Anaya Russell.
Yes.
Mama Dembele.
Yes.
Kaylin Gilbert. Also, two players from Syracuse, which was really interesting, jumped in the portal. I think it's been some other players in the portal, which is a shock. What is that? Is that saying something about Coach Leggett, or is that saying something about Daisha Fair? But Elisa Latham and Cheyenne McEvans also.
I think it's saying something about the coach. You shed light on you and the Gamecock faithful. I didn't know Carmela Cardoso had started with Syracuse. I had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that,
but when she left, there was a scandal there with that coach.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, seriously, something stinks.
And then Coach Leggett came in. Remember, Coach Leggett came in from Buffalo with Daisha Fair. So I don't know if it's
just something stinks there. Something stinks.
But what I'm saying is, it could be that players feel like Daisha Fair is gone. They came here to play with Daisha, and now they're moving on, or maybe the coach has some players that she's going to be featuring. I'm not sure, but I will be watching that. Also interesting to me, 3 regular starters for Oregon also jumped in the portal on Wednesday. Kennedy Basham, Grace Van Sluten, and Chance Gray. After a difficult year for the Ducks, I think the Ducks ended up losing 14 consecutive losses.
Yeah, they started
at the end of the season or something. So
yeah, they started.
So tell me what you think, Coach, about the portal.
Okay. So I think the obvious is Georgia A. Moore, probably the hottest. I hate to say commodity, but that's what it is. As far as Virginia Tech, I think she can instantly come into a team and make dividends. But I'm going to highlight one of the players that I think could.
Let me call this out really quick too about Georgia A. Moore. She has a do not contact in the transfer portal, which means she knows where she's going. I don't know if that's LSU. I don't know if that's on to Kentucky with Kenny. People are assuming that because she has a do not contact that she's on her way with Kenny.
Definitely going to Kenny. I think she's definitely going to Kenny.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm just saying there is a do not contact there. So Georgia A. Moore probably is. I would say probably the biggest commodity in there, but she's only talking to who she wants to talk to, or she's already made her agreement. So
I'm going to tell you who people are probably fighting for. I say Caitlin Chen. And let me tell you why. I think Caitlin Chen, here's the things that stand out. First, she's a senior. She's a guard. She's extremely intelligent. And I'm not just saying that because she goes to Princeton. I'm talking about her basketball IQ is very high. Caitlin Chen, just a little bit about Caitlin Chen. She's averaged from the past 2 years right around 16 points, 4 rebounds. This year, she averaged almost 5 assists, shot 48% from the floor. 32% from three-point could be a little better, but honestly, the offense that Princeton ran, that little 3-player weave type of backdoor cut, could affect your three-point shooting if you're not really, it's not really a three-point friendly type of offense. But I think that because she's a guard, because she's a guard and a senior, you can add her to a team that needs a natural distributor of the ball that cannot be left alone to shoot. And I'm thinking about teams like Ole Miss, teams like that have like those athletic guards, but not necessarily the great shooters. You could add this young lady to these teams, and it could make dividends for what you're trying to do with your team. I think this is probably, to me, one of the standouts in the portal. I think that a lot of people are going to fight for her. Now, here's something that was interesting to me. Dembele quickly committed to South Florida. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if Dembele saying, hey, look, here's what it is. I'm trying to get to the W. I can go to South Florida.
You don't say, you know what, I'm trying to get to the W. Let me go to South Florida.
But that's
all the WNBA players that came from there.
Well, what? But
what I think Mama is saying is, it was colder than I thought. It's colder in Missouri. I'm 5'6". I'm a guard. I'm averaging 10 points per game, 6.5 assists, and 3.3 steals. That was good enough for 6th in the country. I made the SEC All Defensive Team. I need to get someplace where I'm going to be a standout to me, and she'll be able to go to South Florida and just be a standout, and not necessarily have to be in the SEC. Maybe.
Yeah. And
I was thinking maybe it was just you didn't want to play in the SEC, but for me, Coach, Kaylin Gilbert, a 5'8" guard out of Arizona, sophomore, interests me because that's 15 points. But the knock on her was that she don't like defense. Where the heck are you going to go if the knock on you? She openly expresses her disdain for defense. That's the write up on you.
Pac-12. Pac-12.
Pac-12 is over, Coach. Remember, this is the end of the Pac-12.
That's the end of the Pac-12. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of the Pac-12. So that was interesting. That was interesting to me. But the player that I'm looking at the most, and I know you were looking at a senior, but I'm going to be looking at Asia Petty. I thought that she had made great improvement last year. She came in 3rd in rebounding, 4th in field goal percentage. You put a little bit more talent around her, she might can win. What was interesting is that she'd already been at LSU and then at Kentucky. So it's like, where is it that you need to end up? 6'3" forward like that. I would love to see at a South Carolina if we had room. Depending on what some of these other players do. Not that she would have to come in and learn the way and play off the bench. I wouldn't bring her in and have her start over anyone. She could compete for playing time, I think, at South Carolina, but I don't know that I doubt that she ends up there. But also too, Talia Scott, I'm really interested in her. She's one of my phenomenal freshmen.
Yes.
With Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Malaji Fawali, Madison Booker. This kid was at 22.1 points per game. Had a turnover problem. I don't know if that was her or more the talent that was around her.
Cess, Mulkey flew to Arkansas. I'm sorry. Right after they lost to try to get this young lady on that team.
I don't know if she flew to Arkansas for her because she ain't been in Arkansas since February. You know what I mean?
But you know what I mean. Like I think Mulkey reached out. Mulkey's like, hey, look at here. If I can get you next to a Michaela Williams, we still got Big Foe. You talking about some firepower now. You got to stock up talent.
Well, the other place that I thought Mulkey might look was Maddie Sher.
Yeah, Maddie Sher.
5'10" guard out of Kentucky, or even at Anaya Russell. But
I'm gonna tell you one of the most fascinating too. And we said her name, Poffenbarger.
You said her name. I can't say it. Let me say it again. Poffenbarger. Okay, I did it right. Go ahead.
What's interesting about her is that she was the SEC's second leading rebounder behind Angel Reese. She had 11 rebounds a game. And she was the second leading defensive rebounder now. But something I don't know. She played for UConn. Poffenbarger might end up in the Big Ten, Cess.
Too bad for her.
I mean, because clearly it says that her offense faded towards the end of the season. She only averaged 7 points per game. I can only see her going to a place. It would have to be like a very successful program to insert her to get rebounds and to improve defensive rebounding and needing to force on the board. Now, I can't think offhand what contenders, aside from maybe like a Colorado. Colorado didn't have a lot of rebounding. Notre Dame didn't have a lot of rebounding. You know, if you need some rebounders, like maybe that's a destination for her. I don't know. I mean, Notre Dame sounds real good, actually. I mean, I don't know what Coach has in store over there. I know she got the 6'5" phenom freshman coming in over there. That's a lot of pressure on her. Poffenbarger might be a great piece to slide in there right now. You get 1 year out of her, you know, to kind of go in there and do some of the things that Hidalgo wouldn't have to do. So she's an interesting player, very interesting player. And did you talk about Anaya Russell?
Yeah, I said that was the other somebody else that I thought could end up at like an LSU or Ole Miss. I was saying Texas, but looked like Texas has some talent coming in out of was that the high school All-American game?
But I think the portal is starting to alleviate phenoms. If you're not a Juju, a Fuwiley, a Michaela, it's almost like, okay, you can come to the team, but if we can get somebody from the portal that you can learn and grow from, I think that's changing.
Listen, you know they've been in the chat saying that we're gonna lose somebody to the portal. So they have rumored they have our esteemed chat, and I haven't been able to find this anywhere, but somebody said that we probably will lose Kits. The Kits is probably headed to play with her sister, which I don't want to lose big grits Kits. And then they also said that Fuwiley. And I couldn't see that. It seemed like she was trying to play for Dawn since she was a kid. You never know.
Neither one of them are leaving. Why would you leave greatness, and no disrespect to anybody else's program, to land somewhere where you have to start over, try to fit in? One thing about South Carolina, everybody knows their role, and they're fitting in, and they're being brought along just as scripted. So I don't see.
Well, I think the day that they said Malaysia, it was, maybe she was starting to get upset for being pulled for defense, but I think Malaysia is there to learn. She wants to be the best. So I think that's, I don't think that's an issue. And then with Kits, I think they were saying she didn't like coming off the bench, but she came off the bench and gave us 21. So
Malaysia knows she has a chance to literally win 3 straight national titles in a row where she is. That's a realistic thing. Would they be perfect seasons? I'm not going to go that far. But she has a chance to win 3 in a row. Everybody knows that. Why are you
limiting her to 3? She's a freshman. She can win 4.
I thought after 3 years you had the eligibility to go, right? To the W. Oh, okay. No. Well, 4. You can win 4. I'm sorry, correct. Thank you for correcting.
Remember, Stewie got 4.
That's right, 4. She has a chance to win 4 in a row. And that last year she'll probably be the captain of the team.
She'll probably be the captain. But did you see Joyce Edwards in the McDonald's High School All-American game?
I saw some of them. Yeah, I did.
Oh my! Did you see Zam Jones?
A little
bit. Going to NC State?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Look, a lot of talent coming in. A lot of talent coming in. Women's hoops is in good hands. Coach, I'm just gonna keep it going with the stay with the themes of people moving around. And so she declared.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese to the W.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say a few things. Angel is entering this draft, for all intents and purposes, is one of the sports biggest names.
Mm-hmm.
I know people will say that she catapulted to fame last year when she won the national title, and was the Final Four most outstanding player. But this star has been shining way longer than that. Out of Baltimore into Maryland, and then down to LSU, a national champion. She was SEC Player of the Year, unanimous first team All-American last season. She set an NCAA record for single season double-doubles with 34. The program that's at LSU is as much Kim Mulkey's as it is Angel Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
I give Angel a hard time but I also respect the game. I don't know if anybody has done more in 2 years at a program than Angel Reese in this recent era of college women's hoops. There wasn't a national championship at LSU before Angel Reese. I think she helped put eyes on LSU. She helped put eyes on women's hoops. She averaged 20.9 points, 14.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game, 61 double-doubles in all. This girl's a 6'3" All-American. Second team by the Associated Press, first team All-American by the USBWA. She earned a spot on the Wooden All-American team. I think she's on the cover of Vogue. This month or it's coming up. She has deals with Reebok, Beats by Dre, Goldman Sachs, and others. To me, I'm expecting her to be a first-round pick in the WNBA, probably going 7th to the Minnesota Lynx. She got 6 million followers on social media. She's going to bring new fans to wherever she gets picked up. But people are questioning what her impact will be on the WNBA. Reese got an unorthodox style, but did you hear me say she has 61 double-doubles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I seen her play against bigger players. Camila Cardoso, she can be effective there. Mm-hmm. She's got athleticism and quickness that I think allows her to compete. Angel don't mind mixing it up, and I think that's going to be one of her biggest assets in the W as she's learning the game is the fact that she doesn't mind getting down there and banging. She can finish through the contact. Her intangibles make her a future star. Angel rebounds and she gets to the free throw line. You can say whatever you want. I believe that the young lady has a high basketball IQ. She's 6'3". She's played every position. Even against players bigger than her, Lauren Betts. I talked about Cardoso. When she says that her primary basketball influences are Asia Wilson and Candace Parker, then to me that means that she wants to bang and she wants to be great. I understand that she's undersized at the center position, so maybe they're going to move her to the 4, but I think that she's going to evolve her game to the point where she adds the little mid-range shot, the midi that she needs, the playing outside the paint piece that LSU didn't ask her to do. I think she'll add that here very quickly over the next few months as she's now, finished with college. She can just focus on that. And so I'm really excited to see where she's going to be. And the fact that she expects the next chapter to be hard. I'm ready to see how she works at it and how she attacks it. The one thing that I heard one of the general managers say is that some of the stuff she does is disrespectful to the game. I disagree with that. Some of the stuff that she does is immature. Some of the stuff she does is needing a mentor. Again, I think people spend too much time shaking their finger at this young lady instead of putting their arm around her and pulling her in and saying, hey, this is how you adult in this situation. These are the options and these are the consequences. I think I heard Joy Taylor speak to it best. And I'll kind of quote Joy a little bit here. She said that basically Angel put herself in a position where she made herself the villain without understanding what the villain role, what came with that role. And it's okay for her to be unapologetically her. But instead of writing her off, help her understand what that role is. She bit off something that she didn't understand what it would mean, that it would be attacks from everywhere. But I would have expected Kim Mulkey because Kim Mulkey also played up the role of Angel being the villain with the comments like, I wish you'd have pushed Angel Reese, that kind of stuff. So she had a responsibility to help her understand what being the villain meant. And, I think we saw that also with LeBron James. He played the villain for a moment with his decision. He didn't like that role. He finished that up in a professional manner and then reintroduced himself, I think, to the NBA where he's not so much the villain anymore. And if LeBron can have that opportunity to do that, I feel like Angel should have that opportunity as well. Let's give these young people opportunity to grow up. What I will say about her is that for all intents and purposes, she had to have at least a 2.0 through high school and college. I've never heard of ineligibility because of grades. I've heard that she gives back to the community. Her teammates seem to love her. She's leaving LSU. I don't know if she's leaving with a degree. She's leaving LSU with the Division I education that she's been able to gain up until now. And if she's graduating, that's even better. But she's leaving a millionaire with 6 million followers and a brand and a world at her feet. And after having worked her butt off to be 21 and in this position, and your biggest mistake being maybe you may do some things that rub people the wrong way. I think she has a bright future then, especially if she can get the right people around her. So going to Minnesota, I don't necessarily like that for her. I would have rather saw because I think the coach at Minnesota can be a little quick, usually the first year, and then get ready the second year instead of really building with you. So I would have liked to see her more in Dallas, maybe with some more veterans around her who could kind of understand her and where she needs to get to be successful. But let me know what you think, Coach.
Well, I'm glad you covered that because I'm gonna jump right into where she's projected to go, and I agree. I'm a huge supporter of Angel Reese. I like her game. I like her fire. She is immature. I mean, she's still a kid. I mean, figuratively speaking. The happiest person right now, if this plays out, would be Napheesa Collier. Napheesa Collier in Minnesota is leading the team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. What's interesting about where she's projected to go is that they run a 3-forward, 2-guard offense with Tiffany Mitchell and Kayla McBride. And then Lindsay Allen plays a lot of minutes too. It's kind of interesting over there because between Lindsay Allen and Tiffany Mitchell, they kind of like play the same amount of minutes on the floor from the guard position. But so in those 4 positions, you got Jessica Shepard, Diamond Miller, and Napheesa Collier. I could see Angel Reese coming in, of course, coming off of the bench initially, because off the bench, you have Dorcas Juhats, Nicolina Milic, and from there, you got a couple of forwards, Bridget Carlson and Emily Inkskler, who have very little low to no production. So I could see Angel Reese stepping into this team, and no disrespect to them, okay? This is a WNBA, it's a different level. But I could see Angel Reese coming in, literally becoming like the 6th or 7th person off of the bench. And before we know it, I could easily see her somewhere inserted into the starting lineup. Because I think this goes as far as Napheesa wants it to go. She has a lot of say-so, in my opinion, not just by the dictation of her game, but even by, she's fiery. She does just about everything for the team. And if she sees a player like Angel Reese comes in that has that passion, that fire, is a hard worker and wants to work hard, I could see Angel Reese really gaining some minutes and being almost the equivalent. I've heard comparisons to Dennis Rodman. I've heard comparisons to some of the hustle players that, that like those hybrid players just gave you like a Draymond Green. I've heard of comparisons to that just because it's almost like she doesn't have a set position. I think that she's in the W, a power forward, just because of the way her skill set is. But it'll be interesting to see, like you said. I think the tutelage under her coach is going to play a huge factor. I don't know if this coach is known for development or not. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me tell you then. Cheryl Reeve don't play.
Okay.
Right? She's not very patient. You get it done or you don't. Remember, this is where Bree Bill went. She was a national champion. She got waived. Okay? She got waived.
I like what you said, though. If there was a way for Dallas to shock the world and pick up Angel Reese, but I don't know. That's difficult because that means that they would pass up on what's her name? I was just looking at it. That means that they would pass up on you just said her name for Dallas. Aaliyah Edwards. I don't see her getting drafted before Aaliyah Edwards. I don't see that. And then Washington Mystics, maybe.
Well, but are you looking at a mock draft that still has Cameron Brink going second? Are you looking at a mock draft that still has Cameron Brink in the top 5 anywhere?
Yeah, the most recent still has.
Oh, well, then there's a problem with that because she didn't show anything that said this season that she deserved to be a number 2 pick anywhere. You hear me? Nowhere.
But you said something when this first came out because I remember I was.
Hold on, Coach. I'm sorry. I wanted to say this really quickly too. I don't think that Minnesota is a good place for Angel's brand. Period.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think that that's a good place for her brand.
Absolutely. Angel Reese's
of all the
brand
WNBA,
has
all the
LA or
WNBA
New York
teams
written all over it.
But I even liked it closer down to Dallas with Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Like I don't like it at Minnesota. But go ahead, Coach.
I was gonna say this. I remember you saying a while ago because remember respectfully look, we give our opinions on this show. You remember I didn't have a lot of good things to say about Cameron Brink. I didn't. I did not. I have not changed on that. But you mentioned something before. You said, Romel, it's about Coach Rose about marketability. It's about marketability, and I think that's kind of what's bringing Cameron Brink to the Sparks. I think pairing her with Cardoso, you have legitimately on paper a dynamic 1-2 punch as far as down low. It's very hard to match up with those like that. I don't know. I just
the only thing I was thinking about is there any way that Minnesota gets an Angel Reese there and then Minnesota does everything they get to bring their hometown girl home, to have a Paige Beckers come back to Minnesota and play for the Lynx, to pair her with the Angel Reese or something. If you're gonna do something like that, if you bring in somebody else in there where you're gonna make it like blockbuster here in the next season or two, let's do that. But otherwise, she don't need to be in Minnesota. Of course, I'm concerned.
I would love to see. You know what I'm about to say, Cess. I would love to see somebody shock the world, do some shakeups. The New York Liberty are sitting at 11. I would love to see Angel Reese in a New York Liberty uniform. They have them projected to take Charisma Osborne from UCLA. I would love to see her in the New York Liberty. And let me tell you why. You know, I'm a New York Liberty fan. And this is the type of team that I think Angel Reese could go to learn how to be a professional. New York is a huge market. Her brand would flourish in New York. They would fall in love with her. She would learn how to play as far as like the game the correct way from the people that are already in place. And she would know her role. Come in the game, be an engine, get rebounds, play tough defense, make it hard on, be you. And there's not lofty expectations. When you go to a team that contended for a championship, when you go to a team that's a couple players away from at least challenging the Las Vegas Aces, at least challenging them in their quotes because they're so deep, that's a great landing place for you. And I don't count that possibility out because of the villain people are saying, because of some of the intangibles, because of them saying she doesn't really have a position. I could see her dropping down. I could see this being the shock of the draft. Why is Angel Reese still in the green room? Why is she still sitting there and falling to New York? But I think it would be a great thing for her to go there. And then here's another thing. Let's say New York says, you know what, I don't want to take that chance. Atlanta is the next pick after that at 12. Again, she could be marketed there. She could step into that team and pay some dividends right away. So, because we know what they're putting together. They're putting together a nice team So again, she can come off the bench and just be her. That's all. Be quiet now about my Angel Reese.
if Cameron Brink is still a top 5 player, there's no way in hell that Angel Reese should have to fall out the top 10. Period.
True statement.
She did more this year than Cameron Brink did, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, Cameron Brink took 51 in her career. I'm not gonna forget that. 51 in your crib, and you supposed to be this dominant defensive player. No, and I know you didn't guard Juju, but that was your crib. You had a responsibility to defend your space. One thing I know about Angel Reese is it's time to go to war. She gonna fight. She can be in the trench with me anytime. New York would be nice. I don't know about the New York media and Angel right now, as she's still kind of learning and growing. I don't know how she would do with the media.
Good pull. Good pull. That's a good pull there. But you agree the market is big enough. The market is perfect, right?
It's a great market.
Modeling, you got modeling stuff right there. I think she's going to dabble a little bit in that. She already has. You know,
I mean, she's on the cover of Vogue. She's going to model. I just learning behind Stewie, Jonquel Jones. That could be good.
I mean, if you take Brink out of the picture, she could end up at Dallas. But I don't think that 3 teams are going to pass up on Brink if she doesn't go number 2. I don't see Dallas passing up on Brink. I don't see Washington passing up.
They better.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You see. I mean, because some of this is about fitting in. So you see Agunwale, Satu Sabali, and Cameron Brink showing up as the faces of Dallas.
Not at all. But
not at all.
But
for me, where I wish that Angel could land at would be in Las Vegas, where she doesn't have to worry about trying to be Angel and she can focus on playing basketball.
Here comes Cess.
She would get the opportunity
to play
behind.
Teams can't get all the players.
It's not about being a dynasty. It's about what players are going to be able to relate to her. Number one.
Okay.
So no, I don't feel like she's walking in and like, now she feels right in feels right at home with New York.
Okay, that's fair.
She said that the players that she's closest with and the players that she studied were Candace Parker and Asia Wilson. They're on the same team. Those are the players that you want to learn behind. This gives you a chance to to soak it up. Man, Becky Hammond, Las Vegas.
They would have to trade up, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They would have to trade up. But I'm just saying, when I'm thinking about places that she can go where she's going to be developed, and her game is going to develop in the fashion that she's looking to continue to play, it's behind those type of players for me.
That's a good pull.
A Seattle may be good with a lot of veterans. To me, Angel needs to go someplace where there is good veteran leadership, and she can't come in and shake things up. Some places Angel's gonna go in and just being Angel is gonna shake things up. And she's gonna, she could go some places and disrupt because of who she is and how she talks and how she moves. Not in a bad way, but there are some organizations that when she walks in and she's like, Angel Reese is here, they're gonna be like, okay, girl, put your bag down over here and get to work.
You never know.
Matter of fact, grab my bag too, because you're a rookie.
Somebody might shock on draft day and pick Angel and trade her to somebody else for a player that's already
It's not a lot of places that have the veteran leadership that I think she needs to help her grow in the areas that I think she needs to grow.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that is more off the court than it is on the court. So
Minnesota, I agree. Minnesota should be on the island by herself, and I'm not taking anything away from the Minnesota organization, just based off of the content of our conversation. There's no veteran leadership there that can really mold her. She would be expected to come in and instantly
not only that. Minneapolis. Have you ever been to Minneapolis?
No, but I've heard stories about it.
Listen. I went, and it's okay there. But I don't think after you lived in Baltimore, after you lived in after you've been at LSU, where you've been kind of like a rock star and been treated like that, now to get to Minneapolis in the cold and got to carry your own bags and work out at the YMCA and, you know, run pickup games at the middle school, coming out of LSU's facilities. I just, you know, and I don't know if it's really that bad like that in Minnesota. It's probably not, but I don't believe that it's the facilities that she has at LSU. So I just wanted to be someplace state of the art, best we got to offer.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words here?
No, I'm excited about tomorrow. Seeing.
I know you gotta get out of here. Yep. So we'll be covering some WNBA draft stuff next time out. We'll be live tonight for Cess Talks Sports Thursday. We're gonna do a preview of the games. Look at the ESPN top 25 left in the tourney list and talk about some of that stuff. So, Coach, if you're around, pop in and holler at us. Y'all know what it is. Until next time, stay tuned. Talk soon. It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. I'm out.
Holla.